Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know on news and weather as you start your weekend. We also have your boredom busters coming up, but first, our top story. He has been accused of stealing everything from copper wire to a camper, trailers, tools, and cars. Yet he keeps getting released from jail. Joseph Miller is one of the many repeat offenders keeping Sioux Falls Police and the Minnehaha County State's Attorney's Office busy. Miller has at least 23 cases currently making their way through court. The charges range from theft to drugs to resisting arrest. Court documents say Miller's been linked to multiple crimes through DNA evidence and surveillance video.
Like, people have to have a chance to be restored. There has to be services. There has to be a chance for redemption. But also, in this particular situation, after 21 times, we have to say, well, this isn't working. How do we adjust what we're doing?
Minnehaha County State's Attorney Daniel Hager tells KELOLAND News that Miller has already pleaded guilty to several felonies. He is yet to be sentenced, but Hager says it's likely Miller will soon be headed to the state penitentiary. Sioux Falls police arrested a panhandler Friday after he allegedly used a hammer to smash the car window of another man who had refused to give him money. It happened Thursday afternoon, in downtown Sioux Falls. Police say it's unusual for an incident involving panhandling to turn violent, but the biggest concern is always safety.
We've seen panhandlers wandering through the traffic, through the stopped cars. The light turns green, and now that's a safety problem. Cars can't move, or if they move, you just never know when somebody's going to wander in.
36-year-old Skylar Bluebird is facing charges of aggravated assault and intentional damage to property. South Dakotans are expressing support for a proposal in the legislature to require age verification for users who download apps from app stores. We spoke with people in Sioux Falls on Friday who say there needs to be an age check to ensure children aren't downloading harmful content to their devices.
There's so many rabbit holes you can go down on. All of them, really. And it's hard. I think it's hard for parents to restrict access. Even if they want to, I think kids are finding ways to get around it.
But others feel an age verification amounts to government overreach. An AI study committee in Pierre will meet later this month to decide whether to send the proposal onto next year's legislative session. Let's take our first look at the forecast now with meteorologist Adam Rutt in the Storm Center. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Perry, and good morning, everybody. It is another warm start to the day. Yesterday, I know, was rather chilly, but more often than not, it's been above average as we've kicked off a fall day in KELOLAND, any arbitrary fall day. A case in point, 58 right now in Falls Park with a south wind of 14 miles per hour. Beautiful sunrises across the board. We'll take a tour around the region and head up to Aberdeen this time around. They are sitting, however, a little bit warmer at 61 with a south wind of 24 miles per hour. Beautiful look to the east from our camera at the football field at Northern State. 66 in Pierre with a west wind at 13 miles per hour. Sunrise just about underway. And even out in Rapid City, it is a beautiful start to the morning out there. Clear with sunrise on the way, but it's also windy and 63. North wind at 25 miles per hour. We're at 67 in Phillip, 65 for Winter, 58 Mitchell and Huron, 55 Ortonville, Watertown, and Brookings. It is a breezy start to the day, if not outright windy at times. And that windy weather is going to be sticking around. That, with the dry weather we've had as of late, is going to reignite fire weather concerns, and that's not going to be the last time we talk about that either. We'll go through the rest of your 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Adam. Giant pumpkins will be showcased at Riverview Christmas Tree Farm in Canton today for the Greater South Dakota Way Off. Pumpkins grown from around the state will try to set a new state record set back in 2021 at more than 1,800 pounds. One of the contenders is Kevin Marsh, whose pumpkin grown in Parker still has its stem being watered to maintain weight. Pumpkins will be weighed from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. today. This is all part of Riverview's Pumpkin Festival. New this year, a giant pumpkin cannon and apple cannons. The hours are 10 to 6. Then you're invited to summon your courage and take a stroll along the Haunted Trail from 7 to 9 p.m. The cost is $10 for ages 9 and up, $8 for children 8 and under. Money raised supports Canton High School's FFA and Drama Club. All aboard the Prairie Village Pumpkin Train at historic Prairie Village, west of Madison, South Dakota. Kids 12 and under can ride the train to the pumpkin patch from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and pick a pumpkin to take home. The cost is $5 per child. Parents can ride along for $2. Get ideas for your next home remodeling or landscaping project during the Showcase of Remodeled Homes. 10 projects in the Sioux Falls area are available for the public to see from noon to 5 p.m. today and Sunday. A $5 punch card gets you into all of the homes. The Ed Polzine Wild Game Feed is hosting a fish fry at Brandon VFW from 4:30 to 6:45 p.m. The cost is a free will donation, with the money going to help Brandon area kids and adults who are facing serious health issues or other challenging life circumstances. Winners of the 30 Guns in 30 Minutes raffle will be drawn at 7 p.m. And the Stampede hockey team hosts their season home opener against the Lincoln Stars. The puck drops at the Denny Sanford Premier Center at 6:05. Adam?
Well, for a day like today, the ice rink is really going to be the only way that we get any kind of chilly weather for the rest of the afternoon, considering how warm it's going to be today, especially in eastern and southeastern KELOLAND. I mentioned the wind earlier. Wind advisory is in place today in tan for portions of central, north central, and western and northwestern KELOLAND until 7 p.m. central, 6 p.m. mountain time. This includes areas like Miller, Pierre, Eureka, Mulbridge, then over to Rapid City, Wall, Spearfish, and up into the northwestern corner of South Dakota. In the Buffalo area, gusts may reach and exceed 50 to 55 miles per hour at times, so please keep that in mind, especially if you drive a high-profile vehicle, rather. Of course, we have to address the elephant in the room. More fire weather concerns today. A red flag warning for everybody through the evening. Please be careful with any outdoor heat sources, as grass fires can start and spread very easily, considering it has been at least 2 weeks since we've seen measurable rainfall in several locations. We do have a cold front. It has no rain for us, though. That's up to the north along the international border, and it's going to stay up there. High pressure does build in overnight into Sunday. We have a cooler day on the way tomorrow, but that feeling is going to be fleeting, the autumnal feel in the air, rather. As we go into much of next week, we warm up again. So as quickly as this cooler air gets in, it's out and moves over to the eastern United States. A new ridge of high pressure begins to build. We stay dry for several more days. And because of how dry it's been and how parched the ground is, we're going to warm up even more than we typically do, let alone without the assistance of this large upper level ridge that we are going to have in place. Now, not every day is going to be above average. I do think we get a few cooler days now and again. However, odds for above average temperatures are heavily favored as we head into the second half of October. Today, we're looking at 70s and 80s for eastern and especially southeastern KELOLAND. 70s and a couple of 60s, though, up to the north and west. And regardless of where you are, it is going to be a windy day today. Overnight low temperatures tonight dropping into the 40s if you're East River, either side of 40, however, if you are out to the west. The rest of your 7-day forecast is, well, dry again and also warm again outside of Sunday, where we'll get into the upper 60s in Sioux Falls. After that, 70s come back to kick off the new work and school week, and then we just continue to warm up from there with 80s on the way back as we head into the second half of the week. In Aberdeen, 75 today, 68 tomorrow, windy both days. And you're also back in the 80s by the middle of the week and headed toward the end of your next work and school week. In Pierre, plenty of sunshine, maybe a few extra clouds here and there. 74 today, around 70 tomorrow. Then we get back into the mid to even upper 80s for the second half of the week. All the while, we continue to play the waiting game for rainfall. Last but not least, Rapid City, 70s for today and tomorrow. Then you're up in the 80s to near 90 beginning Tuesday and going through the end of the week. Keep in mind, average for this time of year in a majority of KELOLAND is in the mid to upper 60s for high temperatures. Have a great day, everybody. For more on your local news, weather, and sports, you can always head on over to KELOLAND.com.